Yo, what's happening? Welcome to Art versus Arteria. My name is Arteria, aka Art, and this is my YouTube channel, man. Basically, it's me talking to myself, my higher self, talking to my lower self, and trying to get to a high vibration each and every day, And I'm talk about topics that I've experienced or that I'm experiencing in the moment. So if you get anything out of that, then that's great. That's awesome. And like I said, I thank y'all for being here. I hope you all are feeling as great as I'm feeling on this lovely day. Let's get into it though. Selfishness is the topic, bro. Selfishness and being selfish and how it can be beneficial, even though it's a negative connotation. Like when you hear the word selfish, like I said, a lot of times it's a negative connotation attached to that 9 times out of 10, and rightfully so, because nobody likes an overly selfish person, and I agree with that. But and disclaimer, I am extremely selfish, but we'll get into that. I think you have to be selfish to a certain degree when you have goals and aspirations and you're trying to get to the next level of your life. If not, your journey is gonna be a little longer. And what I mean by that is you gotta learn to say no to certain things when you're on your path to becoming better. On the road to self-improvement, you gotta learn to say no and protect your time and your attention. So that's what I mean by being selfish. I'm mainly talking about your time and your attention, right? Because the world wants your time. The world wants your attention. And if you're not protective of your time and your attention, then you're going to be caught up doing things that other people want you to do as opposed to doing what you want to do for yourself. Now, we tend to give our time and our attention away like freely, willy-nilly, so to speak. Give our time and our attention away to a plethora of things, right? Whether it's like struggling constantly on your phone, TV, sports, but we also give our time and our attention away to people who don't really deserve our time and our attention, and like I said, if you're trying to do something for yourself, if you got goals that you're trying to reach, sometimes you got to take a step back and you got to learn to say no. I know people who have a hard time saying no. I don't have that gene. Like if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. Like I don't have a hard time saying no at all. Like by default, my word is no for the most part. like I don't play around when it comes to that. Like I'm extremely selfish when it comes to like my time and my priorities, right? I'm constantly on a journey to better myself and get better. And I know that I can't help the people that I want to help if I'm not in the right place in my life. And that's like health-wise, mental health-wise, physically, financially, spiritually. If I'm not in the right place, then I can't help nobody else, And that's the same for you. Like if you're not taking care of yourself, then in the long run, you're going to get burnt out. If you neglect yourself, you're going to end up in the long run neglecting other people because you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to be able to help them like you think you're helping them. You know what I'm saying? You can't give all of yourself away and think you're going to have some left over for you. You got to reserve some of that, especially if you got goals and aspirations. A lot of times people ain't reaching their goals and their aspirations because they're constantly doing things that other people want them to do. And like I said, I know people who can't say no. They say yes to everything, and then I hear them complaining, and I'm like looking at them like, yo, you don't got to do that just because your friends or just because your family wants you to do that. You don't have to do that. You can say no and take some time for yourself, but they don't seem to grasp that because that's just the type of person that they are. But like I said, if you If you're trying to better yourself, sometimes you got to step back and be to yourself in order to reach your goals and your aspirations. You got to say no to things. You got to draw that line in the sand and just be like, yo, from this point to this point, these next 3-6 months, I'm working on this. I'm working on myself in this area. And I'm not coming up for air until, I achieve my goals. And I do that from time to time because, like I said, I got to put myself first if I'm going to be able to help anybody else. If I'm not in the right frame of mind or if I'm not right financially, then I'm no good to nobody else. So you have to prioritize your life. And I know it's hard for a lot of us, especially for men, because, we want to help and we want to compromise and help the people that we love. And I know it's hard to do that sometimes, to find that time for yourself and reserve some of that time for yourself and some of that attention for yourself when you have a family. If you got a wife, husband, you got kids, that's hard. But in order to do the things that you need to do, you have to carve out that time for yourself, whether that's getting up earlier or going to bed later. You still have to find that time to do the things that you need to do for yourself and have that peace of mind for yourself. You can't just give all of you away and think you're going to feel whole, because you're not. A lot of times, a lot of us feel great, and you should feel great about doing things for other people, but you have to prioritize yourself sometimes. And in order to achieve what you want to achieve, you have to prioritize yourself sometimes. Sometimes you got to take a step back to get to that next level. And you got to say no to the extracurriculars. You got to say no to the outings. You got to say no to your friends, to your family. And sometimes you're going to fall out with people because you're focused on you. You're in that point in your life where you got to focus on yourself to get to that next level. Sometimes you might lose some friends, and that's tough, but that's part of the sacrifice sometimes. If you want to get to where you want to be, you're never going to get to that destination if you keep prolonging your journey by being too unselfish. Unselfishness is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Giving back to others and helping other people is a great thing. And even I, being my selfish ass, I do compromise sometimes because you got to. You know what I'm saying? That's what relationships are about. It's about compromising and doing things that you don't want to do for the people that you love. However, you have to reserve some of that for yourself. So that's all I'm saying. Every now and then you gotta, if you're trying to reach a goal, prioritize that goal and stop saying yes to every situation. Every time somebody pops up, calls you on the phone, you're saying yes to and bending to their will. Sometimes you take a step back and say, no, I can't do it. And you don't even got to explain why. But if you want to explain why, they love you, they'll understand. Tell them, yo, I can't do that. I'm on a mission right now. I'll get back to you. And I promise you, man, when you take that step back, shit gonna be the same. They gonna be there. Social media, it's gonna be there. If you're on Facebook or IG, I've taken months. I've taken 6 months off at a time sometimes, and I go right back on Facebook or IG, and it's the same shit. Same people doing the same shit for the most part. Ain't nothing changed. It's gonna be there when you get back, is what I'm saying. The people that you love, they'll be there when you get back. You know what I'm saying? So focus on yourself sometimes and stop being so damn unselfish. Stop saying yes to everything and everybody. And focus on what you got going on and what you want to do in order to better yourself. Because if you're not good, then how are you going to help somebody else? How are you going to help improve somebody else's life? That don't even make sense. And like I said, the world wants your time. They want your attention. We most of us trade our time for a paycheck. And we got to do what we got to do. That's life. But don't just go to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week and don't take time for yourself to do the things that you want to do, the things that fulfill you, that make you whole. Don't do that. Don't go to a job that you hate and work, bust your ass, and then come home and not put in that time and effort for yourself in order to better yourself. Not put in that time in your purpose and your passion, you know. And if your purpose and your passion is your loved ones, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes you feel fulfilled and whole, and that's all you need, then so be that. You know, I'm not talking to you. You know, continue to do what you've been doing. You know, be a blessing. But if you know deep down in your heart that you got another level to get to, that you're supposed to be doing something else for the betterment of yourself that will help and benefit others in the long run, then don't neglect that. Put that selfishness into yourself and better yourself. Take the time now and do it so that you will be better and the people around you will benefit in the long run. And with that said, man, this is my video for the day. I thank y'all for being here. Until next time, I wish y'all the best. Peace and love. I'm out.